now return to Let's Play Cities Skylines. Okay, so I've done a few things more with the roads here. Extending out here, anticipating a crossing along the way here that will hook up to this roundabout, and then we will get down here. And I've renamed a few places, so the Royal Court will be down here. We'll have sort of a housing area down here. I'm thinking with the European theme, and then we'll put our castles up on there. Also, I have now connected this big weird thing, and it looks a little bit weird because I contoured it to the land to try and avoid as much of the elevation change as possible. And I hooked it up with this, so now we have an actual reason for this road to exist. And then I brought it across the river and gave it this weird intersection for the first time, one with a light. Obviously, you don't really want a light on an on-off ramp, but this allows me to basically get away with having them connect here without having to have 4 on and off ramps. I can just have the 2 here because they have no reason otherwise to need to connect up. If they're going this way, they're already missing the opportunity to be in town, and if they're going this way, they're going to be in town regardless. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. And what we're going to do now is set up. Well, I'll come back to this in a minute. Right now we need to deal with the deficit in our industry. So I'm going to pause for a minute just so it doesn't keep running, and I'm going to move this thing over here. It does fit in here now, but I really don't like that. I don't like what it's doing to everything there. So instead, we're going to move you over here and do something like that. And I guess, you know what? I guess we don't have to absolutely monopolize this entire block. We can just kind of move it over even more. Be right up against that. Is there actually a good spot where this will snap? Alright, whatever, it works. Okay, and then what we do here is we come into this, and this actually does do some stuff. Now I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I just don't like having things on, major roadways like this, but it'll work. So I guess now I can just let this run again. Oh, actually, as it's about to develop right on the thing that I just put down. I need to turn that off so I can have a little bit of time to mess with this a little. Okay, now you can do it. Let's go ahead and preemptively do that one so it develops how I want it to. And I guess it doesn't hurt to have them develop right next to this, so I don't really need to give it a gap. I could give it a gap. You know what? I mean, what benefits do I gain by doing this? Because I could put a pathway here and connect it up here. Again, to what end, I'm not really sure, unless I had it connect to that. Oh, this must be part of the thing. It is, okay. So once again, this poor developer keeps laying foundations, and then we're just like, no. So what did I do here? I just did a walking path, right? It's kind of. I wish you wouldn't do that, but okay. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could highlight this discrepancy even more. I think it'll work. But what would I gain? I guess if I did that and they came to the crosswalk. We don't have anything down here that they'd be coming to a crosswalk for. That's fine. And this big thing of fencing that I put down is no longer necessary. Maybe the one here, it is kind of doing a little bit of cliff facing. We can do something to fix that. Would this be better over here? Would you behave better? Not really. Yeah, no, it just doesn't really do much of anything, does it? Well, I'm not a fan, but I guess it can stay there. Then we'll put these roads back in. Well, now that I've done this, I guess that means we just put this road back the way it was? Yeah, I guess. And then that needs to be gone. It's not connected to anything anymore. And we'll just let this stay, because why not? We'll have something back here. Oh, that was the whole reason why I had it like that, so that I could have something here. I forgot. Oh well. Not that big of a deal. This doesn't, I mean, if we did put it up here, this would cause some havoc. Yeah. So what I could do instead is have a, but it's on the main thoroughfare here. Well, I guess I could connect that. Oh, no, because it is directly on that. So basically I would have to move all of this stuff to make this work again. So everything that I was doing here could just stay there. If I wanted to maybe do this instead. Then what was I doing this for? Basically, we would just be creating a mess here just for the sake of being able to fill in a gap behind the thing here. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I admit. But we'll just let it develop and see what happens. That's not what we want. It's really not what we want. Where's that? What if I make you not do that? How close can I get you? Well, okay. Was that the original? I think maybe that was the original. I don't know. It adds some interest, I guess. Anyway, we've got a few other things to be working on. Now, I'm pretty sure this is within the zone of no high-rises. We got a high-rise ban here. And yet, it's deciding it wants to put some high-rises in. Go figure, I guess. So now we've kind of taken care of the industry, actually, just by doing a little bit of that. Seeing some demand here immediately for residential. Why don't we go ahead and prepare for some of that? And hopefully that will start driving demands again. And we can go work on this farm. Now, I'm kind of thinking I can maybe drag a road from there to here and then connect up the industry road here. That is quite the hill. So this, I had to fiddle with this quite a bit because this was just the steepest of inclines and I didn't really manage to do it. I flattened it out a little bit. I got the grade to be slightly less. My original plan was to try and wind it up the road, as you probably would in real life, to avoid this. But the tools were just giving me grief. So we're not doing that. So let's see. Let's take this now. And we're just going to take a regular road. So it'll shrink down here, and one of these lanes will be usable, and the other not. Purpose. Let's have it go forward just a bit. Right. And straighten her out just a little. Yeah. Okay. Game, you vex me so much. But let's try. Do something like that. Yeah, that's not perfect. And boy, I hate this, but you know what? I'm also tired of fighting it, so let's go with another. Where am I? It needs to be industrial zone. So we'll go with something like this, and this will not be a full farm, by which I mean, let's make this the Milton Farm. So then I'm going to do I don't really want to build on the slope there because I can put farms down here that will sort of do the same thing. They will go down the slope. So instead, why don't we come up here and we will have first turn off here. We'll then go along the outside of the farm like so. I mean, Slightly better. Okay. Grab us an industry farm. Have us a new entryway here. I mean, realistically, have a road go that way. Damn it. Of course. Of course you want to be connected to the water. See, this wouldn't be such a pain if you could just plunk down a water tower and it would be fine. But the very fact that you have to connect it up to the sewage, that there's no such thing as like a septic system or anything, which, you know, would be the real world solution to what's going on here. There's probably a mod. But anyway. So we'll just take that and we will just put in fields, primarily. I guess I did that one maybe a little too far away. I don't want to waste too much of it. I guess I could with the road. There we go. Let's talk about bigger stuff here. And maybe not that one in particular. Let's think about doing like an orchard in the backyard. Or greenhouse, fine. Jeez, come on. Put some big apples here. And it'll get me, why are you not watered yet? Oh, because we haven't started. Jesus. You know, just for the look of it. Get us a water tower out here. The fields have to be watered. Of course they do, but not quite how I thought we would do that. Yeah, fine. I'm thinking about how I want to do the layouts for later. For like the fences and stuff. Now let's go to here. And we'll see what I can actually fit in here. Now, if I make it go pretty much just straight across, that's what I thought was going to happen. But what happens when I put a farm on it? Like a big field on it. Slope is too steep. The absolute bane of my existence. So really I'd be looking at dragging a dirt road out of this. And then maybe connecting it up here to have it go up the hill. Could that work? Either that, or we're going to end up flattening the whole area. Those are the options. Slope is still too steep. Okay, well, I guess we know the answer to this solution then. Answer this problem. Solution to our problems. Whatever You want to say, tractor, you cannot go that way now. Here is where. Grab this and flatten that out as much as possible. To the point that we also start flattening out surrounding land. Lower that a little bit, and then we start to smooth her out. That looks absolutely terrible. Maybe, can we, what does this do for me here? I mean, it sort of does. It's still not quite where we're at. Okay, we're kind of, are we putting it right back to the way it was? i.e., are we going to be too steep for me to be able to build on this? And boy, do I have to fix this. Okay, so let's try again. Maybe pull it back to here. What I actually need is for you to tell me. Okay, it does go out pretty far, realistically speaking. I feel like that's still going to be an issue. Yes, it is. However, if we wanted to do it on the other side, it's going to have to go out a little bit. Okay, so we'll have to put some smaller stuff there, perhaps. What exactly? Not fully sure. How big can those be? Okay. Maybe I would have been better off with that. These are starting to get too big here. Yeah, if I could just get something in there, I'd have to pull it down a lot more. Let me try this again. It looks so bad, but it does the trick. And then I wonder, okay, I'm gonna, first of all, I need to water these stupid things. I'm gonna try putting one down. See what it does to the land. It just falls right off. And then see if I can't mess with the land to try and bring it back to normalcy here. No, because now it's just doing this. Hard eyeball roll. Okay. Maybe we need to pause for a moment here before I completely destroy this. Try and put it back to some semblance of how it was. I don't know if that's even possible now. I mean, actually, it wouldn't hurt to kind of raise the land so it smooths into that. I mean, we could reshape the hill. I've got no problem with that. My problem is just, you know, artificial cliffs to make the freaking farms sit on them. Okay, let me have a look. So if I, for example, instead did something like this, would you then fit that way? The answer is yes. Okay. I don't love it, but I'm willing to try it. Do something like that. So really, if this were just a little bit longer or shorter, that's the real problem here. Need it to be like here. That's actually about where it is going to be. How about we don't do this, and instead we do an orchard? Oh, now you're gonna fuss. Okay, that is more acceptable. I'll reshape the hill on my own time. So how are we doing with water? Water still works. Ish. Okay. And we'll go ahead and prepare for down this way. I guess I can just run a little loop here. Something like that. Oh, and of course, every time there's got to be a hotkey for that, right? So I don't have to keep swapping back and forth on that. How about you instead? There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's still a really tight corner. But we sort of have the feel of it now. Can I get me another thing in here? The answer is yes. What do I want? I guess it could be a field, but I think small orchards make a little bit more sense in this regard. It's a lot easier to justify just a bunch of random trees. Whereas for the fields, I kind of feel would look a little bit more cohesive when they are side by side. You know what I mean? So corn, we'll do corn and corn. There. Yeah, that's that'll be okay. Yeah, it always looks sketchy when I have it like this. Just doesn't always look that good, or at all. And you know, when I fill things in with the trees and whatnot, and cover up my mistakes, I think it'll be fine in the end. Okay, that leaves me some room for things like silos and barns and other various farm buildings, so that's fine. And how is it that every time... Did I get another connection in here, though? Every time I have an idea... Yeah... Can we do that in reverse and maybe not have it be so horrible? The answer is no. So unless I Well, maybe I'll have to do that then. If I take this corner out, raise the land a little bit, it will be less of a terrible dip. I guess I'll do that. But yeah, it's just every time I have an idea for something to add to this city, I end up getting like 2 buildings down, and then it takes half an hour to do that. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, I guess it is time once again to call it here. Before we do, real quick, let's try and take care of the last little bit of a boost to the industrial demand that came in. Boy, all these are broken up so oddly that, you know what, I think I'll just do that and I'll let the rest of it sort itself out. And hopefully we'll start taking care of this, because it is absolutely killing my commercial demand when these things disappear. Oh yeah, we need to move that public library. There's no point in having that if I've already got this one. And life is slowly returning to the Civic Center. Uh-oh, we can't get to this now. Now we can. There's the garbage truck. There are very tight restrictions on what can drive on the boardwalk. So I'm glad to see we've kind of fixed the traffic issue here. Eventually I'd like to come back down here and actually do some things, you know, put some fishing piers and whatnot. We've got a lot of things I can still add along the boardwalk to build up what's supposed to be a highly touristy, trafficked area that should be making me money. But, you know, keep getting distracted with the rest of the city. And I guess if I just want to deal with some of this stuff, you know, plastics, it's not importing it, so I guess I'm going to have to do that on my own, which means we'll have to come over here and develop what little oil I have on this map. I think that's the only place I've got it. It's just right there. This map is very resource poor to begin with. But, yeah. So, we'll dig into this probably later. See you then.